Good morning. How's everybody doing out there? I hope on today that you're having a blessed, beautiful, and amazing day. For those who know me and for those who don't, let me introduce myself. I am four-time award-winning autism activist Marcus Leonardo Boyd. And the reason why I am making this video on today is because, you know, some people have been asking me what is my experience with autism, why do I advocate, why do I want to represent a community that's voiceless? So I'm here on this video to answer some of those questions and more. How did you know, me growing up with autism, how did that affect me? What therapies did I have? You know, such and so on. Well, let's start with this. I was born with autism. You know, I didn't start talking until I was 13 and a half years old at a 2-year-old's level. When I say a 2-year-old's level, and I mean the way that a 2-year-old speaks or communicates. So at that time, when I got diagnosed with autism, April 12th, 1993 at Clifton Springs Mental Health Center, in Decatur, Georgia, by Dr. King. Berta Looper was my therapist. Bob Ortner was my behavior aide. Anna Gibbs was my speech therapist. Dorothy Carr was my social worker. You know, Anna Franks was a help towards my behavior and stuff of that nature. You know, it was a lot of volunteers and different things of that nature at that time. And around that time, when I was 10, I was already going through foster homes, mental institutions, or hospitals. I was already dealing with inpatient therapies. So I've probably been in about 16, 17 different foster homes, 16 to 17 different group homes, 16 mental institutions or hospitals, 4 inpatient. So, you know, I have experience with medications of Ritalin, Paxil, Depakote, Lithium, Seroquel, Zoloft, just to name a few. We talking 500 to 1,000 milligrams per pill. We talking 2 to 3 pills a day. I mean, two to 3 pills, 2 to 3 times a day. You know, we talking about electrical shock therapy where they electrocuted me for 15, 20 minutes a day to force me to take pills in the hospitals that I was in. You know, growing up with autism, it was not easy at all. I was bullied, I was made fun of, I was talked about, I was picked on constantly. I mean, you have to imagine, I'm already going through physical, emotional, sexual abuse. Tremendous stuff is happening to me. And you have to really understand that being nonverbal, yeah, I was learning how to like write sentences. I was learning through my sisters and through my grandmother and through my foster parents. I was learning how to, and through my speech therapist, I was learning how to pronounce and speak phrases and syllables and compounds and nouns and pronouns and verbs. And, you know, I was learning all these different things. And at that particular time, I didn't know how to speak at all. I was, you know, my writing was scribble scrabble basically. So I used to point a lot. I used to jump and, you know, run to things that I wanted because I couldn't really speak like, oh, I want this, or can I have this item? You know, I got with Anna Gibbs when I was like 3, 4 years old. I didn't stop dealing with her until I was almost 18 years old. Because as I'm speaking to you now, that's when I started really speaking like this, as I'm speaking now, when I was almost 18 years old. I was still at 22, 23 years old, having, using the bathroom on myself problems, you know, from number 1s or number 2s. And then it was problems to where I was 20, 21 years old, jumping on people because I thought they was making fun of me or talking about me. Because we'll be at McDonald's or JCPenney's or Target's or Payless or wherever we'll be at, and people laughing or having fun. So I thought instantly through my mind, they was talking about me. So I wanted to jump on them, scratch them, bite them, pull on them. And then if I couldn't get my way or have something that I wanted, I would throw what would been then called an adult fit. Just like children throw temper tantrums, I was throwing an adult temper tantrum. I was having emotional behaviors at these ages. And, you know, just going back, And in my mind, I know the therapy that I was receiving back then is with Verta Looper through the Clifton Springs Mental Health Center. It was not like ABA therapy or dealing with programs like Autism Speaks or whatever. It was just an exclusive one-on-one therapy. They had a color room, they had game rooms, they had different things that, you know, helped spark my interest of communicating or trying to talk and tell more about myself and how I feel and what's going on with me. You know, I got with Verta Looper, I think I was like 4, and I ain't stopped seeing her. I stopped seeing her when I was like 20, about 19, 20 years old. And, you know, the different activities and the different ways that she used to give me therapy was really helpful. And plus, she went over and beyond. She would used to show up at my school, honor roll assemblies, lunches. I was invited to her house for dinner. I mean, I knew her and her family, all of them. I mean, it was a different type of situation, you know, growing up. You know, now with the HIPAA law, confidentiality, and everything else that was going on, she was beyond the therapist. She was my family. Even with, you know, my social worker, Dr. Carr, it was the same way. I met Dr. Carr when I was 3 years old. And when she died, when I was like 17, 18, it rocked my whole world because, you know, I used to go to her house and eat dinner with her family. And she had like 50 other cases dealing with foster children, but she still showed up at my school, honor rolls. She went over and beyond, used to buy me clothes, shoes. I mean, she went over and beyond than a regular social worker. So even with Bob Ortner, my behavior aide, I mean, if I did stay in school for 5 to 8 hours a day, I used to go to Cracker Barrel, Ryan's, Piccadilly, Braves tickets, Falcon tickets, Hawks tickets, starter jackets, I mean, water guns. I mean, the list goes on as an incentive or a reward for me doing good that day in class because I had behavior issues. So anywhere from throwing tantrum, throwing tables, or I mean, throwing a desk or a chair at a teacher or official. I threw the desk at my assistant principal. I mean, it was a really tough upbringing because, you know, me growing up in the projects or the ghetto or whatever you like to call it, you know, we didn't have a lot. And, you know, my mom had 22 of us. So, you know, growing up with hardly nothing and my grandma trying to raise us, and then I got in foster care and then the system, and then it just got really ugly really quick. Plus having autism. You know, when I was in schools, I used to go to school. At first I was going to regular school. Then, you know, when I got in first grade, I got introduced to a word called IEPs. So I was in with IEPs and all that good stuff. And I was dealing with monthly meetings and stickers and S's and E's and N's and you know, what my behavior can do better, what my grades can do better. It was only a class of 4 or 5 of us. I mean, we went on field trips. That was when I was in special education. At that time, they used to take us on field trips, fern banks, buffets, movies. I mean, it was almost like I enjoyed going to school because I knew at the time I wasn't really like learning curriculum. I was just going on field trips. So it was amazing for me at that point or that time. Let's see here, another question that's asked. What helped you to start talking? It was really my foster parents and my sisters and my grandmother, because I used to go to my grandmother's house every day, scripture out the Bible, those big old white family Bibles. Every day, scripture out the Bible. My sisters used to put yellow sticky notes and notes all over refrigerators and doors and everything else. And I used to have to sound it out. Even if I was mumbling or they couldn't really understand me, I still had to sound it out. So I did those things for years, months, days. I mean, it was an every day, every week, every month, every year type of situation until it started gradually getting better. You know, when those 11 doctors told my grandmother, I mean, we went from Emory, Crawford Long, Grady. We went to doctors in New York. We went to doctors in Virginia, Tennessee, and they all told my grandma the same thing, that I have severe autism, that there's nothing that they can do, that they don't know how to treat it, that I will get very little education, if any. I won't be able to feed myself, clothe myself, bathe myself, do anything for myself because the left side of my brain doesn't function correctly. So, you know, my grandma constantly was in tears and fighting off the devil, saying that she don't believe in that, saying that God is going to make a way. It's just hard right now. And you're talking about a woman that really wasn't working like that. She had 24 kids of her own, living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, but still helping to raise my mom's 22. So, and on top of that, she was dealing with my autism. So with my mood swings, and, you know, with me can't take certain colors or sounds, with me can't take, you know, the being around people, if you will. I mean, even at almost 40, because I'm 38, I still can't take certain colors, certain sounds. I still can't eat certain foods. I still can't be around a lot of people. It still bothers me. I still love to be by myself in my room. That's my safe place. Music is my safe place. That's the reason why I learned how to become a producer, because music was able to speak when I couldn't. Let's see here. What therapies helped me out? Again, I only had one therapist in my whole life. Her name was Verda Looper from the Clifton Springs Mental Health Center in Decatur, Georgia. So again, I got with her when I was like 3 until I was like almost 20. So I think her love, her compassion, her understanding, her patience, her being there for me past therapy really helped evolve and really blossom this flower that I became. Why do I advocate? I advocate because I understand autism in a literal sense. I have autism. So I advocate for those who may not be able to speak, because how can I have a voice and don't use it? How can I have a voice and don't help others? How can I have a voice and don't speak out against troubles or trials or situations that affect the autism community? Am I doing this for some type of fame or something? Nope, I'm not. Yes, I do have 4 Autism Activist Awards. Yes, I've been nominated for Grammys and multiple nominations. Yes, I do have 13 music awards. I mean, yes, I am a business owner to multiple companies, but it's not about the accolades of stuff that I'm already doing. It's about the people and the individuals and the families that don't get the support, that don't get the help, that have to sacrifice, that have to give up all they have to be able to help take care of their autism child, teenager, or adult. That's what it's about. That's just the reason why I advocate, because I want to help spread inclusion, awareness, and acceptance, and give more knowledge of autism worldwide. Where can people find me? You can find me. My new website is getting done, so you will be able to find me on my new website. You can find me on Facebook at Marcus Leonardo Boyd. You can find me on Instagram at the Orange County Chronicles TV show, at Autism Activist Marcus Boyd. That's one word, Autism Activist Marcus Boyd. Or you can find me on Twitter at Boyd Autism, or you can call me at 520-330-0242. Again, it's 520-330-0242. I'm not a celebrity. I don't think I'm all that or anything else, but I do thank God and my team for everything that they're doing to help break down barriers in the autism community. We have so much coming up. Autism Music Fest. We have, there's a clothing line for autism. There's a shoe line for autism. There's different designs coming for both clothing and shoes that's on the way. There's, a magazine is coming. There's children books and comic books and there's a bunch of stuff that's coming to be able to help spread more knowledge of the autism community from a testimonial and story standpoint. So my story is just like everybody else's. I'm no different. So we all share the same story. We all come from the same place. You know, this is why I stand up, believe, and fight for autism. I hope that this video helps you. I hope this video gives you encouragement, because I Autism activist Marcus Boyd loves each and every person with autism. I stand with you. I believe in you. I support you. I love you deeply from my heart. And we are family. And, you know, I'm sending an air hug to each individual and every person with autism, to every person that volunteers and help, to every social worker, case management, therapist, to every company, to every organization that helps and stands for autism. I love you. I'm proud of you. I support you, and I stand with you. So this is 4-time award-winning autism activist Marcus Boyd. I love you.